Happy New Year! And welcome to Paper Pages and Possibilities. Happy 2025. Definitely excited to have you here, excited for the new year. And today I am going to share some of my plans for 2025, some of my goals, both reading goals, channel goals, and other miscellaneous reading related goals, as well as my 25 in 2025 book list. So, a lot to get through today. Stick around and we will go through that together. Welcome and welcome back. I definitely appreciate you being here today. I'm excited for the new year. I am ready to share with you what my plans are. This is by no means a complete plan, but it's the things that I've thought of so far. And then I will also share with you my 25 and 2025, the 25 books that I want to get through this year for sure. So intentionally picking out some books, and they're mostly on my physical TBR, which is part of a year goal as well. So I will start off by talking about some of my goals for the year. A first goal is I want to do at least 2 collaborations with other booktubers this year. I've really enjoyed getting to know other booktubers and started developing those friendships, and I see other booktubers also doing collaborations, and I want to participate in something once, twice, even more. I want to be even a greater part of the community, and I feel like that's one really good way to do it and just deepen the friendships that I've already started. So that's number one. Number two, I am setting a goal for books read this year. It's not a high one, so something that's very easily reachable for me. I'm setting it at 50 books, and the rate that I was reading in 2024, I ended up with 48 books for the year, and that was starting in like April/May, so I think it's easily doable. But I set it easy. I set it as a low bar because I don't want the pressure of, gotta read books, gotta read books, gotta read books. I want it to be, I want to still be enjoying myself and not putting undue pressure. On a similar note, one of the stats that Goodreads showed for the year wrap up is the pages read. And so I thought it would be interesting to set a goal for that. Again, this is going to be just a very ballpark goal. I've got like no idea how much going to end up reading, but I'm setting what I think is going to be a fairly low threshold. So last year, 2024, I read 15,155 pages. And so this year, I'm going to set the goal at 18,000 pages and maybe a stretch goal of 20,000. But again, it's more of a like keeping track, just kind of curiosity thing, not something I'm really going to push myself to make sure I achieve. For YouTube goal, I also would like to achieve 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I am getting close to 100, so as of today, I'm at 86, and it's been a very steady increase, so I am all very optimistic and looking forward to that. So that's my goal, is 500 subscribers. Again, I want it to be kind of a natural increase. I don't want to really push it too much because I want people to join the community that really want to be here. Finally, my goal is to reduce my physical TBR by 25 books. And I don't have a huge TBR right now, physical TBR, compared to what I've seen. But it is still fairly large, and I think, while it's still semi-manageable, it'd be good to tackle that now, and so that way kind of keep a rein on the bookshelf and make sure that it's a lot of things that I have read, but still keep some unread things as well. You know, I've got to have some variety to pick from because I am very much a mood reader. So let's get into those 25 books of 2025. So 20 or 19 or 20 of them are physical books already on my TBR, and then 5 or 6 or so are on high on my reading list. They are a couple of series continuations and books that I just desperately want to read. I've been so looking forward to. So I have put them on there knowing that I will be purchasing and adding to my physical TBR. But so without further ado, first off, this is a backer kit. It's very similar to Kickstarter backer kit project that I backed last year, and it is these 2 books. So we've got Mermaid's Song and Fairy Hearts. They are short story compilations and absolutely gorgeous. I've done a video when I opened this package. Looking forward to reading those books. So that's first 2. Next is Cain's Jawbone. This is one that I did talk about last year. It's an ergodic book in that it plays with the boundaries of what a novel is. And this one in particular is 100 pages long, but the pages are all in random order. And you are, as a reader, it is your purpose to figure out the correct order and then solve the mystery. So it is a murder mystery. And I am going to be working with another YouTuber as kind of a buddy read, but a long-term project buddy read, because she also got this recently, so I'm looking forward to that. Next, we have R.F. Kuang's Babel. I did get this one from Kevin Toll of Kevin Toll Reads in a giveaway, and it has been on my TBR for a while. I had started it as an ebook, and I was getting into it, but I've discovered that ebooks are just not really, don't work for me. I prefer a physical copy, so now that I have it, I am going to work on getting through that, and hopefully I will enjoy it. Next, we have A Light in the Window by Jan Karen. This is the second in the series of the Mitford series. The first one was At Home in Mitford, and so I definitely want to continue this series. This is what I consider a cozy read, so I'll probably pick this up when I'm in need of some extra relaxing and kind of distraction from stresses of the world. Next, we have Momo. This one I hadn't ever heard of before, but the one thing that got me, that made me snap up this book, is this is by Michael Ende, and he is the author of The Never-Ending Story, which, growing up in the 80s, this was a movie that I absolutely fell in love with, would watch over and over again, and so I'm very curious to see what this is about. I hadn't heard of it before, and I know that I want to also get Never-Ending Story and probably read that as well, but that's not a definite. If I happen to find it, I'll probably grab it, but for now I definitely want to read this. So I have no idea what it's about, but based on the previous work, I'm fairly certain I'll enjoy it. All right, then we've got Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. Hope I said that right. And this is one that I've been seeing quite a bit on BookTube. Quite a few people have talked about it, kind of like a cozy book. and definitely into the cozy vibes lately. So looking forward to this. Next, we have another ergodic read, and this one is House of Leaves. And this one is a wild ride. I have read this before, but it's been like 20 years or so since I've read it, so I am ready to read it again and like thoroughly enjoy it. I don't think I truly appreciated the what it was when I first read it. It was just kind of a novelty for me at the time, but now I'm ready to dig in and really get the most out of it. But to kind of give you an example of some of the pages you encounter, like it's very, very strange. But at the heart of it, the premise of the story is about a family who moves into a new house and somehow discovers that the inside of the house measures larger than the outside of the house. And that precedes a whole lot of weirdness. So, looking forward to this one. Next, we have Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley. I found this one, I think, at a Goodwill or some used bookstore. It sounded really interesting, and I am just looking forward to. I'll go ahead and read the book, the back of the book here. Years ago, Rachel had a crush on Henry. The day before she moved away, she tucked a love letter into his favorite book in his family's bookshop. She waited, but Henry never came. Now Rachel has returned to the city and to the bookshop to work alongside Henry. But in the time since she left, tragedy struck, and Rachel's feelings for Henry, for anything really, aren't what they once were. As Henry and Rachel work side by side, surrounded by books, they exchange letters between the pages and find hope in each other, because it's possible that words and love and second chances are enough. So, romance, bookshop, can't ask for more. All right, next we have a chunky one. We have Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clark. And this has been on my TBR for many years, many years. So I figure it's time that I got around to reading this. And this was partially prompted by another book that I am putting on my physical TBR, well, putting on my 2025 list, and that is Piranesi. I'll put the picture here. I do not have that one yet, but I do plan to get it and read it this year. That is also on the list of my 25 in 2025. So. Next we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is another one that I've heard so much about on BookTube. It's been fascinating, some of the different things that I have heard about it, and I'm looking forward to digging in. Next we have The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I got this one. I really don't know anything about this book. All I know is it's by N.K. Jemisin, which if you watch my last video, I think it is, her first book I forget the series name, but her book, The Fifth Season, was my #1 book of 2024. So just based on the name alone, I grabbed this. I am looking forward to seeing what it's all about. And also on my list of 25 in 2025 is another book by her. And I do not have it yet. It is called Obelisk Gate. And I will put that image right here. So that is another one. And we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. Next we have Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This one I think is kind of thriller, sci-fi, something like that. I don't remember much of any of the plot, but just sci-fi thriller, that was enough for me. And so I'm very interested in reading this. And also by him, I have Recursion. I did start this one as an audiobook. I didn't get very far into it. I was testing out an idea of reading audiobooks while I was working and found that I couldn't concentrate on both at the same time. So audiobooks are really not the thing for me either, so I will stick with the physical book. And this is going to be another read for 2025. Next, we have The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong. Another cozy book, very interested. I've heard a lot about this one as well on BookTube, and it just sounds like a fun read. One of those that is low stakes, not too dramatic, but heartwarming. So, looking forward to that. Next, we have Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. This has been on my TBR for maybe 5 years or so. Physical TBR, I believe I actually just got this last year. So it hasn't been on my physical TBR for long, but my virtual TBR for a long time. And it's got a really interesting story. I am really excited to read this one. Next, we have Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. This is the prequel to Legends and Lattes. I've had this for a little bit, got this earlier this year. I am interested in reading it. It's another one of those cozy fantasy, but I don't know, something has kept me from digging into it. Not sure what, but I'm planning to get to this sometime in 2025, potentially earlier rather than later. I'm thinking I want to finally just stop putting it off. So, Bookshops and Bonus. Alright, next we have A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. This is one of those books with the sprayed edges and like book that I got primarily partially for this. I got this one, like I could not resist the books on the sprayed edges. It just, books, you can't, I couldn't resist. It's, yeah, obsession. And I think this one has a really nice cover. Oh yeah, beautiful cover as well. Really beautiful cover underneath the sleeve. So, I believe dark academia fantasy, something like that, is the genre for this one. Getting a very tall stack here. Last book that I own, that's on my physical TBR currently, is A Letter to the Luminous Deep by Sylvie Cathrall. And I got this one a couple months ago. Been looking forward to that. I love the ocean vibes. Like, that's like probably one of my second loves after books is ocean vibes. So definitely ready to jump in here. Alright, so that's it for my physical things that I already own, but there are a couple that I am determined to get because they are very high on my want to read list. First one is Annihilation, and I'll put the pictures up here of those books I don't yet have. Next is Orbital. And then we have Piranesi, another one by Susanna Clark. I might have mentioned that already in the video. And then A Psalm for the Wild Built, cozy one. Been hearing a lot of good things about that. Looking forward to reading it. And then finally, Welcome to the Hunamdong Bookshop. And those are my 25 books in 2025. I will probably be posting more videos rather frequently over the first couple of weeks of the new year. I'm going to catch up on some tags, maybe talk a little bit more about plans for the year, things like that. So I do have the intention though of doing at least one video a week for the foreseeable future. That is the plan, and I do see myself doing a second video here and there. I'm not committing to a second video every week, but just on the occasion that I have the extra things to talk about. But that is it for now. If you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. If you like the content, I would love a like. And if you are interested in following my adventures through the rest of the year, feel free to subscribe. I would love to have you in the book community. And if you know of any other people who are avid book readers who might be interested in the content, feel free to share. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a happy new year.